Okej, mirëmbrëma, mirë se keni ardhur në edicionin e radhës të Startup Grind Prishtina. Startup Grind është një aktivitet që e bëjmë një ICK që 8 vjet. Është një program I Google for Startups ka qenë tash është marrë prej Microsoft for Startups, po na nuk kena mërri hala me update rrëdha pak. Kjo kapitulli I Startup Grind Prishtina mbështetet prej programit USAID Compete. E falenderoj martonin, Diorë dhe këtë ekipën që janë bashkë me ne. Po ashtu kjo aktivitet mbështetet edhe prej komunës së Prishtinës. Dhe siç e dini, edhe keni qenë njoftuar në mes postimeve tona, mysafir shumë të veçantë. E kemi sot Edi Demaj nga KODE Labs, që vjen për herë të parë në edicionin e Startup Grind. Ka qenë mysafir nisë këtë disa herë, po kjo është hera e parë që kemi pas mundësinë me diskutu me ta rreth shumë temave që lidhen me startups, me inovacion, me teknologji. Do të jetë një një edicion hibrid shqip-anglisht, për shkak se janë disa terme që nështë edhe është pak problemi për këtë në gjuhën shqipe, po unë do të filloj me prezentu Edi në gjuhën angleze. Edi Demaj is an Albanian-American serial entrepreneur based in the Detroit metropolitan area. He is best known for being involved in the development of Detroit as technology hub and founding a number of technology companies including Rocket Fiber, KODE Labs, a company providing cloud-based building automation software. Startup Grind hosts Edi Demaj tonight, and Edi is the co-founder of KODE Labs. And the Startup Grind is the most valuable startup community in the world, delivering education, connection, opportunities to help startups and scale-ups grow. And as you know, one of our core values are those behind me: make friends, not contacts, help others before you help yourself, and give first, don't take. That's why we have these name tags. So after the discussion, we'll have a networking event to get to know each other. Edi and his brother Etrit are the co-founders of KODE Labs. The two were born in Kosovo and came to Detroit in 1999 as refugees during the Kosovo War. Their ties to both communities led to the company name KO, which means for Kosovo, and DE, which means for Detroit. Both founders are serial entrepreneurs, having scaled and exited real estate technology companies for over $100 million. Together, they have built a team of building engineers, software developers, data scientists to visualizing buildings everywhere. They believe in future of real estate that is easy, open, data-driven, and carbon neutral. They currently are working in every continent of the world, and the team is going to be doubled in the next 12 months. The team raised $8 million in Series A to advance its smart building platform. And they are only a 5-year-old company, which means, or 6 now, which means they were founded in 2017. KODE Labs serves 2 million square feet of real estate on 3 continents for the time being and works with companies and organizations of all sizes. Një duar tërkitet madhe mirëseardhëse për Edi Demaj. Edi, po fillojmë shqip. Po kthejmë pak mrapa, se tregimi edhe në baut, kur hen në web të KODE Labs, fillon me tregimin qysh keni dalë prej Kosovës. Ju Edi, I nderuar me profesor Mikel dhe gjithë njënës në 99-ën. Na trego pak për fillimin në 99-ës, kohën kur shkuat atje, sfida që I patët së refugjat, edhe qysh krejt lindi tregimi I KODE Labs edhe I kompanive tjera.
Faleminderit që keni gjetë kohën në ardhmë së pari. Për mua është eventi I parë në Prishtinë rreth startups tech, edhe pse merrna koxha si moti me çfarë sporti. Kështu që në Prishtinë kam lind, në Kosovo kam jetu në 99-ën, sikur disa për juve si nikon të lindën, disa shumë të ri, po disa që nikon këtu në 99-ën sikur shumë tjerë. Kemi pasur rastin ose mundësinë, më mirë me thonë, me shku në Amerikë, masi sikur këtë pjesës tjetër të Kosovës që na ndodhi që ka na ndodhi. Kemi shku në Amerikë në Detroit. Detroit I nifet në qytet afër Detroitit, por mos I Detroitin ndoshta e njihni pak më mirë. Edhe jemi vendosur atje me vllahun e Tritin, që është edhe bashkëthemeluesi I KODE Labs, edhe print normal. Sfidat se emigrant janë kanë kisa dush, po nëse I krahason me sfidat që I ka kalu populli në Kosovë mas luftës, nuk mendoj që as ja vlen me undalën këtu me tregu drejt. Kështu që as nuk po du më nal aty. ma mirë po merra me anën e mundësive që kemi pas atje. Kemi shku në shkollë, kemi punu, sikur bën këtë emigrant tjerë, që nëse keni të familjes ose nështë keni pas përvojë vetë. Kemi shku në shkollë atje. Fillimi, diçka që ka qenë interesant për neve personalisht, për mua dhe për Etritin, unë jam vllai i madh, kam 4 vjet para Etritit, kam shku 14 vjeçar, Etriti 10 vjeçar. Fillimi ka qenë ashtu, të më thonë, qëllim jetësor për fillim, personalisht për mua ka qenë qysh me gjetë një mënyrë për me bë paret mjaftueshme ku prind nuk kanë nevojë me punu 7 ditë 24 orë etc. Po më ke qit tetat, më ke qit çdo.
Çdo që mana.
Edhe do të them obsesionu me çysh me gjetë një mundësi për me bë kushtet esenciale të familjes ku familja s'ka nevojë me punu në çfarë të punë. Të përmende babin tem, Mikelin, ka qenë profesor në gjeptetut në Prishtinë për 20 vjetë, 20 vjetë. Mandej ku shkon atje, si fëmijë prindve që kanë kalu shumë sfida, që e të bëtë si obsesion që shmu nga bëtë në jetën më të letë sa në vene. Edhe, mandej kemi fillu, në fillim kemi marrë pak me real estate, kemi bërë disa shtëpia, kemi ndërtu, ku i kam bërë 18 vjetë, 19 vjetë, ku kemi me marrë kredia sa në vene. Mandej, shumë shpejt e kemi pa që përmes teknologjisë mundesh me scale shumë më shpejt, që po inë këtë teme që nëse pak më shumë për mos mi lodh me ata. Edhe fillimisht kena fillu me outsourcing of për ndërtu website-a basically. Kjo i ka 15 vjetë në shtati qka qështu. Edhe të më thonë meshën punë atje, filloj njerë me website-a, mandej u zenu pak ma shumë të për platforma, se në vene, but pure outsourcing. Edhe shumë nive 2 jemi lidh me mërgim të hanit, që më sigur e një shumë për juve, të gjirafës. Edhe kemi fillu një kompani që u thërke Easy Survey një ko. Mërgimi edhe në Kosovë, punëshme me mërgimin këto, na atje. Edhe shumë shpejt kemi hi në Easy Survey u bo gjirafë. Na e trite dhone në Amerike fillumi kompani që u tërke Riozam, që konë në qëtë fushën e real estate, ase për të me dojnë në qëtë amik sa ma shpejt. Edhe që aty e kemi ndërtu, dhe me thonë, e kemi fillu një kompani që të Riozam, ku kena punu me Kosovë, software developers në konë Kosovë, edhe për një vit, kam rri me konë në fillim e kemi lancu vesh në Michigan, shtetin e Michiganit, kam duke të konë 10 milion banor. Vitin e parë kemi rri me konë 5% e real estate agentave, që kanë qitë mas shumë ti përmes platformë. Që kanë qitë mas shumë ti period, po na kemi bo përmes platformës, përmes website. Mandej e kemi lancu edhe në Florid vitin e dytë, mandej e kemi shitë ata se filloj Rocket Fiber, që ku e kemi marrë investimi duket për qatë region ku është Michigani, hala të me konë rekord. Mi pas besi our seed investment ka qenë gati $32 milion. Se është kone pa mushme me fillu si business për pa pas funding të madhë, se u dëfke infrastrukturë, se në vene nuk e konë vës teknologi, nuk e konë vës software, dëfke me investu në infrastrukturë. Ndë unë kam vazhdu Rocket Fiber Etriti, ka vazhdu me një kompani, ka konë partner and their chief operating officer, që është marrë me integrimin e sistemeve ndërtesave, edhe smart buildings basically in general, kam punu me shumë platforma ekzistuese, që a fillu prej like Siemens and Johnson and Honeywell, platforma që kënë dëgju dhe ju marrit. And then I was po më ndolla mos me këty në anglisht. Okay,
we'll brief him after the session.
Okay, I'll flip around. A ka dikush që nuk flet anglisht? Nëse ko dikush lirisht tregon
Edi ka ma lehtë me vazhdu në anglisht që po vazhdojmë në anglisht.
Ju s'është problem, më me folë edhe shqip edhe anglisht, ama nëse e kemi dikant.
Kthej kanë herë në shqip, se po kena shërë edhe me të një.
Okay,
Let's do it in English.
All right, cool. So I was 100% rocket fiber. Triti was 100% with this company that he was with. Then we intertwined constantly because essentially really every business we ever were involved in, we both touched essentially all sides of it in some way, shape, or form. And then build rocket fiber, we had an 8-year plan when we initially started that said we're going to do X, Y, and Z within this 8-year period, and then we'll have essentially a decision point. That was like our decision point, an agreement with our primary investor to say, once we hit 8 years, we will have a conversation about what does this mean going forward. So we set these certain goals. We pushed quite a bit, hit them in 6. KODE Labs started in 6, which put us in 2020. KODE Labs started in late 2017. So triti gojoni, ki plot këtë që janë shqipërime plot që kanë qenë me KODE Labs për fillimit. Janë marrë KODE Labs 100%. I was kind of flipping back and forth between rocket fiber and this for the first couple of years. Got rid of rocket fiber, sold that, and then it's just been 100% KODE Labs. And to kind of summarize what we do with KODE Labs really, really quickly, we set out to build a platform that could integrate essentially all building systems, inclusive of like core infrastructure, all the way to your like sensors, other softwares, et cetera, into this like single pane of glass, so that then we could build on top of that. So the idea, first and foremost was how do you build a platform that allows for this like integration of all these systems, normalization of the data, and then start to build apps on top of it. So we've been at it since late 2017. KODE is now 130-ish people, 30, 40, I can't even keep up anymore. And about 100 or 110 of those are in Prishtina. Continue to grow. We've been growing the last few years at 100% rate every year across all the metrics that matter. Something that's interesting, I think, to kind of share, which I'm sure we'll go maybe a bit more into it when you talk about businesses. We continue to have 0% churn, which is like for anybody who doesn't know what the definition of churn is essentially when you sign a client and then you lose them at some point. We continue to stay at 0%, which is probably honestly if there's a metric you can measure your team on, that's it, end to end across the board. So that's our proudest metric that we can share. We can talk about tech and all these other things all you guys want, but that's that. So yeah, so we work across US, Canada, UK, Europe, Australia, and really honestly all continents now. So it's been a fun ride so far. That's the high level summary.
Yeah, I attended several events of KODE Labs and I know what you guys do, but fjalë shkurta, çka bën KODE Labs? What do you guys do exactly?
Me fjalë shkurta, integrojmë këtë eksperiencën që kemi në ndërtesave, zakonisht ndërtesa më të mëdha, jo shtëpia, në një platformë që që e centralizon, domethënë këto sisteme, i normalizon, edhe mandej kemi aplikacione që kemi ndërtu, domethënë mbi çdo datasets që i kemi, që e mundsojnë mandej optimizimin të energjisë, operational efficiency, etc. And equally as important, also does this like data orchestration where once you integrate all these systems into the centralized location, if you want to go, if somebody scans in a parking lot and you want to push an elevator down and make sure the temperatures are set, etc., because we monitor everything in real time, we can then drive all those experiences as well.
How many buildings since your establishment have been like?
There are over 1,000 buildings that use our platform in some way, shape, or form to date. Again, globally, we have, as of Friday, I think, we got a couple hundred more in the queue that are onboarding. But I mean, it's a fast scaling business. It's quite insane. can tell you that everybody that works at KODE is not at KODE because they want a job, nor do we want people that want a job, to be completely frank. They're there because they really want to drive this thing. And philosophically, as a company, like when we started the company, filosofia ka qenë çaj temeli, me konë që ashtu që we're not building a company just to pull profits out of it. In fact, we've pulled exactly $0 in profits in almost 6 years now. We don't pull profits out. The company has been profitable since first year, but we've never pulled profits out. 100% of the profits that are generated by the company are pushed back on across the whole team, holistically. And also, when we started to build the company, we had done the, start, raise money, do the gymnastics that you typically do in in the startup world. We wanted to build this business in a way that that could be self-sustainable, where we're not, worried about can we make payroll 3 months from now, 2 months from now, and then you're, pushing to negotiate with investors. So that's what we set out to build. And then everybody that has joined since that, call it day zero, that is literally still part of the company. Again, some of them are here and others that aren't here. Most of the core team was from Kosovo. I mean, it's basically built by people here in Kosovo, which is one of the best things ever. We're in an industry where we're like not even on the leading edge, where I think I'd say we're on the bleeding edge of kind of what we do within our industry, and it's built here. It's literally built by engineers from Prishtina. And we compete with everybody. Literally every big company on planet Earth you can think of that's in this space, we compete with them on every single deal. And it's people from this place that joined these calls that, we started building the company together. They're all part of the founding team, really, for all intents and purposes. From our CTO to our leading tech people to people on our business side to managing partners, etc. They join calls and they are meetings and they're rock stars, man. It's exciting. It's literally the most exciting part of what we do.
Ndoshta që kjo është njëra prej arsyeve se sa herë përmendim kësore në KODE Labs, që keni shku në Amerikë, çdo moment e kohën me gjetë një moment kur kimu kthy nëse jo fizikisht Kosovë me biznes. Po na konë që për fillimet apo veç konë random. Se di që punën kryesore kryen zyrja në Prishtinë. A jeni halon pejton?
Halon pejton. Mushim me gjetë edhe një kaç aty.
Edhe një kaç. Po të më thonë se është një shambull shumë i mirë që kthehesh me mundësi, me produkt, nuk jeni, po një produkti zhvillohen në Prishtinë, krijon vende të reja të punës, me paga konkurruese, në farë një sektor që e mon talentin edhe trunin mbrana Kosovës, po që jep shërbime edhe produkte për Amerikë edhe për këtë botën.
Na kena linë qëtë, na rritë qëto, e ke kalu luftën. Automatikisht nëse ke kalu luftën, i ki do fërndjenja është pak ma e den edhe vetë. Janë do fërndjenja mos më ka asu me ty t'i ki edhe rase personale që janë edhe matrona që i kam pasur në po. Është nyshe. Për neve ka qenë shumë rëndësi me gjithë një mënyrë me u lidhë me Kosovën për me na mojt ofër vendit. Vesh personalisht, Edi edhe triti e familja jonë ngushtë, qysh me na mojt ofër vendit, ofër Kosovës. Që e konë të më thonë qëllimi numër 1. Qëllimi numër 2, it's just good business. Like I could sit here and pretend like I'm this big patriotic guy, whatever. I'd like to think that I am, and we are. And we try in our own way. We always have and always will. But it also is good business. I can't deny that, nor can anybody else. Why would you not work here? I'm talking about 6 years ago. I can tell you that every day, from a pure business perspective, we're becoming more competitive than, Ireland, or you can pick a bunch of countries, Estonia, Romania, Bulgaria. We're on par with them. Germany, literally, go to Germany, do math, you're in tech, dollar for dollar, shkon Gjermani, këshira, kemë jetu 100 herë më mirë shtës në Gjermani. 110 herë më mirë. Now, I'm not ignorant. Like, I want to make this clear. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Kosovo is Germany, because we're not. But I do think that overall quality of life for people that are, healthy, young, and smart, I think you can have a hell of a life here on salaries that I think specifically our industry pays. Nuk mund me fol për industri tjera, se nuk di tepër shumë. Po në industrinë tonë, besoj që me kanë biseduesh, nëse këshim unë pajtu që nështë mund është më shku në Gjermani me marrë, whatever, 5, 10, 20% more, po gjithka i ki 50% më shumë over that. Anyway, to come back to your question, yes, 100%. Gjithë kena dashur vëllë që kam në Kosovë, për shumë arsye. Business being one of them. Number two, look, it's exciting to build with people that you have so much in common with. But I can also tell you that our American team members that are part of the team, they also are like ingrained in this culture now. Like they love it. They come here, a team from here comes there, and it's exciting. Like, man, like the culture here is just, it's unique.
Yeah.
We're welcoming people, we love people, and they love it. So, it started with good business. We have this thing that's like doing well by doing good. And we believe you can do that. You can do well by doing good. And that's like at the core of our philosophy.
Edi, probably now jumping to talent and to different employment opportunities. I hear a lot of CEOs and different companies talk about people and universities, not only in Kosovo, but also in the Western Balkans. People finish universities, they get a diploma, they are not employable because the curriculum is not really fit to the needs coming from the market. A keni problem, për shembull, ose çka do të më kon të rit të fokusum nëse duhen me hinjit industrinë e smart building. Edhe ofron Prishtina ka talent, por me sa dione shumica ose edhe janë interesu vet kanë hit deeper mas fakultetit për me mësu me trajnime online, janë autodidakt disa besa që më përshtat kërkesave të tregut.
Një tregun për sistemi i shkollimit në përgjithësi në botë, për mendimin tim ka ngecje në kur e krahason me ku janë të ecë industritë. Është tepër shumë problem me njek mbrapa. Tash me fol për Kosovën specifikisht, se di kam qef me konë tepër shumë i kujdesshëm se o shumë lehtë marrë për Amerike me fol me dhonë men këtu. That's not my goal. That's not the intent of anything I will ever say. Like I want to make that crystal clear. That's not my goal. I don't want to do that. I'm not trying to act like, we come from America, we know it all. We don't. If we just simply don't. But that's a problem. Educational system globally is an issue when it comes to education chasing it. Our industry specifically, I think it's exploding. Mm-hmm. It's like what Google was when Google was founded. Quite literally. And është diçka që e flasim shumë shpesh në zyre me ekipën me njerëz ndryshëm që you have all these different countries that have picked certain things. We think that if there was this concentration and zoning in on the real estate tech space specifically, we think that Kosovo could really be a kind of a standout country. And to your point, can the universities, et cetera, help with their curriculums? I think they can. I think they do an okay job overall in giving a good base. Mm-hmm. But could we, is that an opportunity for us to step in and lead? I think there is. I think there's a huge opportunity to do that. But I'm of course biased. I'm in this space, and I think this is the greatest space ever. But there's a lot of other good spaces. We have other companies that are building great things in tech and software and hardware, et cetera. I think tech, holistically, great space to zone in. Is there a foundational thing that could be done better from the educational institutions to prepare people for jobs? Yes. They're not on par with where you think they need to be. There's no denying that. But it's not just a problem here; it's a problem in other places as well. So I think, do I think it's a huge opportunity for us to step up and do something cool? Yes. How do we solve that? There's other people that are in the educational space that are, I think, more prepared than I am, because if I give some opinions that I have that are personal to me,
yeah, because a lot of people asked if you're a programmer yourself, and I said to them, no.
I've never programmed a line in the entirety of my life.
Yeah.
And I have worked on infrastructure tech and software the entirety of my life. It's just, I don't know, I was lucky to have good people around me that are, way smarter than me, and in all sides of everything I've ever done, honestly. Like, I'm just a small piece of it, and it's all the other people that can take and run with it. But I've core computerin për me kodu se kam përdor core. In fact, shumë rrolla dhe kam këshyr kod, veç nëse ka tregu dikush, hey, like, here's what's going on or whatever.
Take your Excelin.
Excelin, exactly. What I will say is that architecturally, how you build things and how you set that up, from building level to cloud platform, I could hold my own fairly well. I'd say fairly well. But I just never had to code. I don't know. I wasn't smart enough to learn that skill, I guess.
Edi, po du me besu që gjithçka nuk ka qenë shumë e lehtë në qëtë rrugtim. Nështë pak me kalu të sfidat, të ne dështimi vogël. We do also organize the fuck up nights for failed business stories, so please make sure
we can talk about that.
Yeah. So let's share some failure stories probably, and lessons learned you had from previous business ideas, or in the KODE Labs or somewhere else.
Yeah, no, 100%. And there's a lot of lessons learned. We're learning every day. There's that saying of, like, those that fail fast are the ones that are learning the fastest. So that's kind of the approach that we've taken forever. I can tell you that the single biggest lesson I personally have learned in my career so far is that if you're trying to build a business that scales, you cannot focus on multiple things. It is humanly impossible. Multitasking, when it comes to, like, Elon Musk is a unique human being. It's one period. Mm-hmm. Multitasking is hard. I think that's the single biggest thing. And we've tried. I do some here, do some there, and you do everything okay. But when you focus 100% and something like, I'll tell you a personal story. Kur kemi vendosur me fillu KODE Labs, njëri prej njerëzve që kena dashur me rekrutu në çet core founding team, për arsye që vetë personalisht për mendimin tim është njëri prej njerëzve në teknologji shqiptare më të mëshëm në botë, period. Is our CTO. Gentriti. Hands down, one of the brightest minds at Sidi. I think he's one of the brightest minds that we have. And I think that he has attracted other incredibly bright people, because really smart people attract other really smart people, particularly when you're culturally built well. And I think that when we started, we were talking to him, and we're like, look, like, we have to figure, like, he had a company with, a couple others there.
Zagaps, I met.
Zagaps, yeah. They came with on me treating, like, look, like, Gentrit, like, toen we met de familie de Suisse Basco Gentrit.
Dus we bepalen.
Zelia kon met nat ko, like, apostle in a core group tier. Që janë kona të që s'pëdu me për me namna non-stop, se mande harroj dika në s'pëdu me. Se po, Anyway, arsyeja pse po ta tregoj është kështu. Kur jemi thonë Gentriti, we need to figure this out. Gentriti ka thonë nëse ju dy jeni të fokusuar 100% në KODE Labs, we'll figure it out. I'm all in. But I need to know that you guys are like 100% in this. If I have that, I'm good. Like, let's go. We'll go. All of us, the whole team at ZAG, will go. And that was the promise we made, and we've kept now. But you know, there's a lot of lessons. I mean, we can talk about specific little things here and there, but operationally and how you set structurally and et cetera, the company, which I'm happy to go into. But you know, at the core, multitasking is really, really hard when you're trying to build a company that scales and scales fast. You can't do it alone is another lesson. Not that I've personally never tried to do it alone. I can't code. Like, how the hell am I going to build a tech company? I don't know how to code. Co-founders are a huge deal, and not just co-founders like the key, but like the founding team, your core team, and then because that then attracts other team, you know, other people, and it becomes this like holistic view. At no point in time at KODE Labs is everything handled through one vertical. There are different people that are handling different things depending on what we have going on, and it's people that have been with us for as little as 3 months and as long as 6 years. That are jumping in and going, and our core team that has been with KODE Labs for a long time, we're all wired the same, fundamentally, like foundationally, what we believe in. We all bring our unique set of skill sets, but fundamentally, it's if somebody like we're a fairly flat organization. We understand where decisions lay and need to be made, but you know, we've been very intentional about not allowing, like, learning from previous failures and experiences to not be an organization where it's like all ideas come through this, you know, vertical or these people or this group of people or whatever, and that's not, again, that's everybody, the core team to literally everybody. So those are just some of like high-level lessons, but there's a lot. I could write 5 books on that.
Nice. Po vazhdojmë nështë edhe për çka pritet ose cilat janë planet e KODE Labs prej tash tutje, tashmë ndryshimet e fundit, ChatGPT e ndryshoi pak lojën edhe AI në përgjithësi, ai ne tu e pa vetën ai tu përshtat me industrinë, çka për tanën, edhe mos na pa hapë mikrofonin për publikun, se ma bëu më shumë me bëu një farë diskutime interaktiv, pyetje, përgjigje, komente për një 20 minuta tjera.
Ja, I mean, ChatGPT e kam dëshuar lojën komplet për këtë industri. Për neve për perspektivës që tash kemi një tool tepër të sofistikuar që mund me përdorur brenda industrisë tonë. Çka është interesant me ChatGPT dhe KODE Labs është që para 4 vjetëve kena folë çish me ndërtu diçka të ngjashëm veç për industrinë tonë. Ka shumë njerëz në industrinë tonë që merren veç me, you know, consultants and consult on this and consult on that and all things that like now you can feed ChatGPT and it can literally do for you. So it's unfortunate for some people. In our space, we intend to use ChatGPT for sure. But you know, really anything that comes out that could fit within. That's how architecturally how we've built the platform and the company is to allow us the flexibility to be able to implement some of these things. And those are things that, you know, go back to the team that architected the platform originally, because you set a problem and you set, you know, a thing that you're trying to reach, and then there are other people that are a lot smarter, brighter, that help architect this thing and drive it. But, you know, more specifically, what's the future look like for KODE Labs? We think we can be the first unicorn to come out of Kosovo. And we're like dead set on driving that we will for sure be the most valuable tech company coming out of Kosovo. There's zero doubt about that. You know, the Kosovo is already, but will really be on the map from a smart building perspective, and that's one of the things that drives the hell out of the whole team. Literally, holistically, everybody, end to end. Like, we jump on calls across the world with like crazy, you know, multi-billion-dollar companies, and we're going hard. Like, we go hard. and it's because like, you know, and then everybody knows like, oh, like now they think that there's this like incredible amount of big talent for smart buildings in Kosovo. Like, yeah, kind of. We're getting there, but yeah, I mean, those are, you know, that's the first like big thing we think will be the first unicorn to come out of Kosovo.
Perfect, this is great spirit and great vision. Faleminderit. Për fillim po e mbyllim që pjesën e parë, pyetje përgjigje prej meje edhe prej Edit, po kishim pas qef me pas pak më interaktiv diskutimin. Kemi kolegun me mikrofon, Erjoni. Këto Edi po shohën kemi ka dhe startupa që mirën me smart buildings, smart solutions që në biznes e startup prej Kosovës, Bajramin e pash më herët s'di kam hupe. Okej, çati më rapa. Bajramin kemi thonë më me taku Edin për shkak se mundet me mësu ndoshta pi provojës, po edhe me pas atë mundësitë e bashkëpunimit për matutje. Nëse keni pyetje, veç që ngritni dorën në mënyrë që më ju pa yes. Erjan ben me hes pak më larg, veç kem vakt. Nëse të pritoni mu prezentu, edhe pyetje nëse komentin. Ata më dojnë me shku ma herët, që të komentin?
Përshëndetje, Panino.
Yes, po? Jo? Jo, na vyn puna e zonë, a pe këshyr të lut na komentaj?
Panino.
Po.
Unë jam begim Betyqe, data scientist, dashta me vetë, keni të integrume edhe kështu kamerat që munen me track movement të njerëzve, për shembull, se mas nështë në commercial buildings për me bu nështë në tracking të turmave, se ma herët kom punu me një farë projektit të tillë, ku munëm me ndiku lëvizjen e tyne, a veç me senzora mrenda që do më thonë nuk ka kamera, nuk ka tracking të movement, a veç me senzora ku është dikush, ku ka scan ose diçka të tillë.
Jo, edhe kamerat integrojmë. Do më thonë çdo sistem që ka mundësi në komunikimit me jashtë via API or any sort of capability of communicating out and passing data over to the platform, we've either integrated with or integrated with. We have over, I think, close to or over, a little over 100 different integrations. They on pray core infrastructure all the way to like a energy system or sensor or a camera or parking or work order or you name it.
Me pyeti pra cili është dallimi kryesor mes commercial buildings edhe nështë jo qaq commercial buildings where people maybe live or something like that.
Yeah, oh, that's a good question. Dallimi mes commercial by definition, ndërtesa komerciale janë ndërtesa që kanë zakonisht zyre shkëputime. Shumica ndërtesave që na kena punu me tu deri me sot, janë ndërtesa që janë ose komerciale ose mixed use, meaning komerciale, rezidenciale, komerciale, like retail downstairs, mandej ka hotele, platforma është ndërtuar që ashtu që nuk që mundet me u apliku në çdo lloj përdorimi të spaces përveç ndërtesave të vogla ose shtëpiave, personale. So you can take it, integrate anything you want, use it in whatever way you want. Inside of it, there's a whole like analytics BI tool. As a data scientist, data engineering, like you could do all sorts of gymnastics with data inside the tool because it all comes in, it's normalized, and then people go and do some incredible things with it. So that's how that. But then you have industrial and educational and healthcare, and I could go on and on different types of uses.
Faleminderit për pyetjen. Po Diara?
Edi, faleminderit Diori, ICT sector lead në projektin e USA Compete. Glad to have you here. Unë pa tani pyetje rreth për faktin që i ki pas dy përvoja, service provision dhe product oriented company. From the business point of view, cilat janë dallimet, për shembull, me një kompani e cila ofron shërbime dhe me një kompani që the whole business ka të orientuar rreth një produkti, domethënë. Në Kosovë shumë kompani të ICT-s që janë service providers their best exit strategy është shifting towards product development për faktin që e kanë mandej një target audience një niche, një perspektivë e jotë janë këtë.
Yeah, mos po villoj me, na nuk kena dosh kur me kon në software outsourcing servicing business. Domethënë ka qenë diçka që fillim u shkon super se domethënë ka një fazë ku ka pru pak pare, ka pru eksperiencë që kanë shumë më rëndësishme se parja në atë kohë. Po nuk domethënë building software for sale, for, you know, basically we've never been interested in building other people's ideas. Is the best way I could word this, ever. Which is why when people come and tell us, you know, pitch us ideas and things like that, you hear it quite often. This is, by the way, a huge mistake you can make, which is trying to pitch somebody an idea and then asking them to sign an NDA. It's like horrific. That's not to say that servicing is a bad thing, by the way, because it could be a great business. There's a lot of people that have built great businesses there. We're just after building a product. There's something that, like, it's hard, for us. Like, për neve është nuk dim, nuk dim qysh me me formu ekipe rreth të shkoj që nuk muj me kon ashtu të komplet fascinum, passionate about driving it. And we don't know how to build teams around it. We're just not good at it. So we stick to what we think we're better at, which is, you know, having an idea, starting it, having a group of people that buy into this idea, because it's no longer, like, KODE Labs is no longer a 2 people or 3 people or 4 people idea. Like, in no way, shape, or form is KODE Labs like just like, you know, 2 people that started, 3 people, 4, whatever. Like, it is not that at all. It is literally 130, 40 people every single day that add some value to the platform that is now built in some way, shape, or form. It's also 130, 40 people that are insanely passionate about seeing this thing get to where it needs to get to. And from you know, people that, you know, kind of, you know, run the company perspective, we're also incredibly passionate about taking this thing where we all know it can go, and using it as, you know, a tool, for lack of a better term here, to help change an industry and then do a bunch of good along the way, from whether it's putting, you know, Kosovo and Detroit on the map from a smart building standpoint, whether it's just helping change, you know, the lives of our team and their families, you know, et cetera. So, you know, again, short answer is we're just not good at it. So we just don't know how to do it. We've never been good at it. Like, and we'll just tell you flat out, that's not us. You know, we buy into an idea, we can get pretty laser focused on going there.
Faleminderit. Çka ke para ti? Okay. Veç mikrofonin stash dia.
But it's hard. It's really, really, really hard.
My question, pyetja jam është në lidhje me fillimin e një kompanisë, ose kompanisë tonë specifikisht, thu që si e KODE për shembull, edhe yet your company is based on tech. How do you at least begin to trust someone or give the trust of someone with the idea that you have and say, this is what I want to build, this is what I want to do, and you do it for me?
Yeah, yo, who's here from KODE Labs? Can you guys just like stand up just for 2 seconds? Like just 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not trust these people, man? How do you not trust them? Like, really, honestly. But your question is spot on, and I agree with it. Look, we learned early on that you can, and this has been, by the way, personal experiences and mentors and people that we've, you know, been around for a while, is that you can't do it alone. And how do you trust them? Like, how do you not? What am I going to do? I can't build it myself. I can't code it. I need you to bring me to code it. What do you want me to do? You know? But then, you know, it's also like tying interests in a way that makes sense. You can code all day long if you can't hit the market. Like, hitting the market is really, 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 really hard. Single biggest reason for failure is not getting to market. Because there's
Especially US market.
especially U.S. market. So we know what we're good at, we know what we're not good at, and we find people and partners that are really, really good at that, and then we hit the ground running. So, you know, I think we're used to seeing a lot of founders that are like, you know, I coded the website myself first round, and then, you know, I built it and I did X, Y, and Z. I think those are great, but those are unique, like Facebooks, Instagrams of the world. I think if you're a coder, you better, it applies the same way. You better trust somebody on the business side to take it and run with it and make it worth. Like, I remember beginning days of KODE Labs, right? We were building a platform, and like the thing that we'd hear from our tech team all the time is like, yo, like, how many users do we have? Who's using it? Do we have users? We need users. You're saying to build this, but are we going to get users? Da, da, da. And now we got too many users, and they're asking for too many things, and like, like, how do we change priorities? So, you know, it's honestly, we almost don't think about it. We've been blessed to just be surrounded by good people, and we continue to we stick to that core, and we'll probably be retiring with this core team, building stuff together.
Did it? Okay. Mas nie vazhdojmë juve.
I got all the time in the world. I like talking to you guys.
Përpara është.
Test. Përshëndetje, qëndrimtara, inxhinieri i makinerisë. Fillimisht për gëzime për punën e pata një pyetje sa i përket targetit, cili është targeti i 2023-t për KODE Labs. Kisha pas shef nëse veç ekziston diçka që e keni checkpoint është.
Yeah, I mean, existent definitivisht. Ose s'kishë mujë me konë 2023. Targeti i KODE Labs për 2023, na jena një fazë tash ku dhe më thonë që ai scale që kemi punu për ta që 5 vjetë, që një vjetë të gjys të fundit we're like really just starting to go. Our targets, without getting like too deep into it, is that like last year our team grew by 100%, number of people. We will keep zero churn. We have to keep zero churn. Protecting revenue is more important than even earning new revenue to us. So that's a big metric that we measure against. 100% of our client base that's ever done one thing with us continues to do more. So 100% of the client base is a reference, and we take great pride in that. And we have a team that takes phenomenal care of people. I can't stress enough, like, once your company starts to scale, making sure that you have people that do client success. So it's zero churn. It's 100% of the client base continue to grow with us. We don't have a set number from a hiring perspective this year because we feel we have a pretty strong team. I'm sure we'll still grow, probably not 100%, but we'll probably grow easy 50% by the end of the year. And then from a sales revenue perspective, we have a goal this year that's 300% to last year. 300% is quite a bit, but we like it. We like pressure.
Faleminderit. Zonja ose zonjusha. Mas ne na vazhdoj me juve, Albin. Që më rapa? Ishtë prezentosh lutem, pyetjen, komentin.
So my name is Rita, and I'm a product manager. Jam për Kosovës. I can maybe ask you the question.
What company?
In English. I'm currently doing freelancing for a blockchain product, like a social platform. Yeah.
Okay.
So my question is, first of all, I'm really happy to hear a company that's product focused and not just outsourcing, like we were talking. That's really cool.
Appreciate it.
I am really impressed with a 0% churn rate. It looks like you're keeping the customers happy. I was just wondering, I think he kind of touched on that, but I was wondering, like, what are your current challenges? Because I don't know your industry very well,
Sure.
but like, what are your current challenges? And I guess you don't have revenue goals. I guess you have growth goals. Are you trying to reach new markets?
We have revenue goals. We have a 300% revenue
yes,
growth goal for this year.
Okay, cool. But I mean, from the perspective of like making the product better, bigger, like,
Sure.
you know, bringing it to, so I'm just curious to know that side of the, of the business, like on the strategy side. And what else did I have? And and like, do you guys have like, I'm just curious, like, how do your product teams work, and like, how are decisions made? That's kind of just to kind of learn your culture and like how you guys do things.
Sure.
Yeah, and maybe a third question: what are the 3 most important maybe lessons you've learned throughout your entrepreneurship journey? Like, I guess you solve the problem, you work with passion, you were at the right opportunity, you executed with a team, which like right idea without an execution is nothing. But like, I would love to hear from you like some lessons maybe as a seasoned entrepreneur.
Got it.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll try and be concise if I can. Vision and kind of our moonshot for the company from a product standpoint for us is that the built environment is a complicated environment because you have all sorts of systems and things and infrastructure, et cetera. And you know, we've simplified it quite a bit along the way. Our moonshot is where you can go to kodelabs.com and integrate take Prishtina Mall and completely take everything that exists in that thing and put it on our platform and essentially turn on whatever use cases or goals or desires you have for the space that you want to see without ever talking to anybody at KODE Labs. That's moonshot. It is literally, today, it's as hard as like building a rocket to go on the moon right now. Knowing that somebody has done it before, meaning they've gone on the moon. In this space, nobody has done this. To date, no company on planet Earth you can do what I just said with. That's our moonshot. Which then reverse engineer that into product and the space that sounds like you come from. We have, as the platform has grown, what we've done is we've basically taken our core team that has built the platform and built teams around that, along with some new team leads, et cetera. Now we have, now it's a platform with multiple applications. So there's a product team for each application. There's a product manager. There's a tech lead / product owner from a tech perspective, and there's a team around that. And we've iterated on that quite a bit. Because at the beginning, you're building because you're building, for us at least, 50% based on research and development and our personal experiences from the variety of number of people that we have on the team that have been in this space, and 50% on like complete gut. Like, we know that if we build this, like it's going to change. Because it's not like we had somewhere to look at it and go like, oh, they did this, so we're going to go and like do this. Like, nobody's done it. Like, there's literally multiple things within our platform that nobody has ever done before. And then we, from a decision-making perspective, it's these teams and these, groups of people that own these different applications that will work on solutioning a problem that is brought to them by the business. That could be sales, that could be what we call our mission control team, which literally is one of the reasons we have zero churn. Our client success team, same. It could be somebody on our finance accounting team that sees and brings it, and then these teams solution it depending on who he touches, where he touches. And then from a lesson or perspective, honestly, there's so many of them. Like I touched on, good core team and partners and et cetera. I think culturally, you need to know who you are and who you want to be and kind of stick to that at all costs, even if that means that you lose people that are extremely talented. Sometimes you have people that are insanely talented that you're like, man, like they could literally build a rocket, but they're not a fit. Hire for cultural contribution. I'm sure you guys have heard this, but I really sincerely mean that. Don't just hire for cultural fits. Hire people that can really add to that culture, that does those ingredients that you've built. Just do what you say you'll do. Like, I can't even like stress that enough. It sounds so simple. If you tell somebody we'll do this, we'll do this. We don't pretend to be perfect. We tell our team all the time, 100% of the time, and you could talk to anybody that's ever stepped foot at KODE Labs, left us, came back, etc. Is KODE Labs perfect? 100% of them are going to tell you no. Is KODE Labs going to always react fast if something is brought up to them that you know, needs changing and is put forth in the right way? We will 100% react right there and then. It's not this, we got to talk to 17 people to make the right decision by our people. It's like insane. So.
Faleminderit, Albin.
Albini, I pata dy pyetje. Pyetja e parë ke, do më thonë tash çysh e keni para po që keni zero do më thonë çern. Që përmendet, edhe shka ndikon që me pas zero çern. Edhe një pyetje tjetër ke, a keni mendu me kalu edhe në industri tjera, për shembull në prodhim ose smart cars ose
pyetja e parë është përgjigjja e parë është që çka ndikon çata është çato që tash marrë që është ekipi që është për me i bought in. Dhe më me pak bought in. Bought in, like they're like they're
Så hvis med bare ni var det skal.
Ekipi që pin bought in. Është ekipi që nuk vjen punë për punë.
Okej.
Është mënyra më e mirë që më shpjegoj. Ora?
No brutal Mondays, right?
No. It's është literalisht njerëz që Ora? That's it. Njerëz që vinë punë për me besojnë që ata të dashur me vot sekër, në përgjithësi, që morën tepër shumë seriozisht, të thonë me hup një klient, it's like serious business. And you're going to hear others, I guarantee you, people that have scaled way bigger, done better things than I have in life, or we have at KODE Labs, talk about, churn of this is good, that average, whatever, which is true. But we're very focused on that. It's the team that drives that. It's these core things that we have that are like client-centric that help us with that. And then your second question, no, is the short answer. Zero interest in touching anything outside of this space. We have plenty to do here.
Pibojmë edhe çto dy pyetjet, po përfundoj me ju, për shkak se edhe kanë orë pizza, s'po do na milon muftof. Po ndërkohë që përshëzojmë edhe një 40 minuta në këtë katën e parë si networking event për me taku mi private me Edin edhe me pyetjen e koment shtesë. Veç lutem pyetjen, nëse i keni më shumë se një, mos e bëni, veç një pyetje edhe do të përgjigje.
Okay, so two simple questions. First question is...
Only one question, please. Yes.
Only one question. Do you plan to scale up in the United States? Are you currently operating only in Detroit, Michigan?
No, we operate globally. We have...
Care school, but
I've worked for a company with a 2% retention rate, which was good.
2% what?
Retention rate.
Okay.
Right. And
2% retention rate?
Yeah. That was over a period of 3 months. And but that was good. It was still good for the company and for the sector, basically. Let's just say that in that field, it's not bad. A 10% retention rate in that field is amazing. How do you achieve? I mean, it's from my perspective, it's really difficult to achieve a 0% churn rate.
It is. That's why we do it. It's literally the thing that sells KODE Labs every single day of our lives. Because you can call, when somebody asks for a reference, it's not let me call Diori or Spandy or whoever and ask them to be a reference. It's do you want to log into our CRM and literally call random people. Like you can just pick up the phone and call the most random human being that's ever on our platform and talk to them. And nobody can do that. But we didn't get into the space to just build something to build something. That's not our intent. We're fine. We can all go get jobs. 140 people at KODE Labs can all go get jobs and be completely okay in life. We're doing this because we literally want to do something different, unique, that we have seen over the years. It could change all of our lives and the lives of the people that touch our platform. So that's what we're after. We're not after just building a platform to build a platform. Like, we've been there, done that. It's cool. Like, this has to be different. This has to be unique. The people that are here, whenever KODE Labs becomes whatever KODE Labs becomes, 10 years from now, hopefully there'll be 10 other unicorns that come out of this. Like, that's our moonshot.
Faleminderit.
Pretty good.
Se nuk e kena punë mirë me së mikrofon. Veç që të nalë tut na pullon. Jo mikrofonin pullon.
Përshëndetje, unë jam Olsa, jam një first year student që jam të major në CIT. Pra jam si blank canvas, s'kam experience hiç pra në business or how to start a business. Tash në KODE Labs, një temë që jam të vrejt mas shumë të që është shtjellu është ekipa. So my question will be se si me formu një ekip besueshme? A është ndonjë taktik që e keni formu, do të thonë, një ekip që beson njëri tjetrin? Si mundem on dikush që ndoshta s'kam experience me identifiku disa persona që i kishin bërë një ekip, do të thonë, që për me bëu biznes që ka shkollës të mëdha?
Me qetë në gënë tret, goja
në qetë në gënë tret, në jetë tret, në jetë, në shqiprim, në eris, I can go on and on to rat, etc. No. Look, the answer is I think is complicated, but also very, very simple, which is nëse qëta njerës që e të ndërtu të shka me ta, janë gati, jo njët, po gati, të rëndësishëm në njëjtën scale se so partneri që e zgjedh për jetë, gruaja, burri, whatever. Arsyeja pse, shumë të tjerë që e kalon më shumë kohë me ta, që kalon me partnerin e jetës që e ki, so jetë tu morë me që të sen. Kështu që për neve, gjithë ka qenë, nuk e kena kërku kur dikan që pajtohet me neve. Dhe më thonë, qaj sen nuk it's completely out of the picture. Pajtohet për perspektivës të biznisit, like this, that, and the other. In fact, gjithë kena lyp dikan që mundet me konë me pruni perspektiv tjetër, se sa do që kena vetë besim, kena kogja shumë vetë besim, edhe unë, edhe e triti, edhe ekipën përgjësi, qëto perspektiva tjera, over time me mësën që jonë më të rëndësishme se so me pos gjithë njëjtën, po foundationally, temeli, të më konë e njëjtë. Se t'i banë këtë qëto for decision making që dush me bo, që kem të kënjona përpitjo, how do you guys decide? It all comes back to this foundation. And everybody can decide based on these foundational things that we've set. Meaning, if any person at any point in time at KODE Labs makes a decision on anything, literally anything, and can point to look, foundationally, we made a decision based on these, it's simple. Like, we don't need to discuss. We can talk strategy, etc., but you made it based on these, basic foundational things that we've set, we're good to go. And that's how you pick partners and teams, in my opinion.
Faleminderit. A fala po të një pyetje? Pe përmbyllim me të fundit me këtë zotninë dhe me atjorën aty në fund. Përshuzojmë rastin është edhe me Edin me u taku privat, nëse keni pyetje atëre. E kemi këtu edhe një 40 minuta, mas i të mbyllim këtë ngjarje.
Përshëndetje, jam Edi Demaj prej Advantex. Faleminderit që jeni këtu edhe juve. Pyetja ishte për kur thoni që punoni globally. How does it work with system integrators companies? Konkretisht, që shenë përvojat, platforma, është cloud apo është standalone për objektet, edhe pyetja tjetër, çka rreth hardware-it, qysh çfarë protokolle ose çfarë pajisje me përgjithësi janë kanë më shumë që janë përdorur.
Yeah, so it's foremost cloud-based, and it's only cloud-based. We won't do local stuff. It's hard to scale that. We're done with that. Cloud or out, we're okay. We're comfortable not getting a client if they don't want to go to cloud. Is one. System integrators, and how does that work? Honestly, there's a lot of people in our team that don't sleep a whole lot because we're dealing with partners all over the place. So what we've done is we've started what we call our channel partner vertical. Like originally it was all direct because we wanted to be closer to the client, really understand their needs, etc. We've started to build our channel partner vertical where our channel partners are essentially resellers of our platform globally. And what we do is we train them. We have a very decent process that's constantly iterating and making it better, where they get trained and then they can go and like if you're in Australia, again, our goal, I don't know if you were here, like the moonshot is like self-serve, drive it on your own. We started with system integrators that have the experience in the space. They can take it, get trained, and then hopefully be able to go on their own, knowing that they have support from our team when and if they need it. And then from a hardware perspective and a communication protocol perspective, I mean, we're integrated to close to or a little over somewhere on there 100 different systems, and it's everything from your REST API to your like MQTT, backnets, etc. A bunch of different protocols. There's a ton of hardware that help like translate different protocols to make them available for integration, etc. that we work with. But we, KODE Labs, provide zero hardware. We'll provide recommendations. We're not in a hardware game. We're not trying to be there. We think there are good companies that do that. We're software and we're just trying to stay there and solve for that.
Faleminderit.
Përshëndetje. Apo dëgjon?
Po.
Derisa më ta bëni pyetje soi përket raporteve juridike që i keni mes kompanisë, duke e di që edhe vetë kompania është kompani e cila vepron domethënë tër globin, atëherë qysh rregullohen ose a keni pas vështirësi me bu rregullimin e produktit ose rregullimin e marrëdhënieve juridike mes kompanisë dhe produktit që shitni, duke di se edhe shtetet e tjera kanë rregullim ndryshëm normave juridike ose shoqërore.
That's a very good question and deep.
Do you have a legal office?
No, we are the legal office. I'll start at the very basics. There are so we have an office in Detroit and an office here. We have a team in Detroit and a team here, but they're all under the same umbrella. Everybody works with KODE Labs. There are different. Okay. There are different laws, even from like employment perspective in Kosovo than there are in Detroit, as an example. So what we have done is, man, I gotta be careful what I say here. What we have done is. Yeah, exactly. Well, if somebody shows up at KODE's office tomorrow, I will know who sent them. What we have done is, it honestly, from a team perspective, all goes back to these fundamental things that we all believe in. So we've tried to set this like consistency between the teams on all things related to like called the KODE Labs umbrella, while respecting the laws of each country on the areas and things that matter. There are a lot of conversations we can have on that with things we as KODE Labs disagree and agree with, but we'll leave that for off-camera stuff. Although I wouldn't mind having it on camera because I think it should be addressed. As far as the platform itself, look, we started in again, there's like the basics. We started in English. We built everything in English, because it's just this universal language. 5 years later, we're releasing multi-language, because we have clients that now are like, I love the platform, I want to use it, but I need, somebody on the team, usually somebody on our team to talk German to them because they don't speak great English, as an example. So we're releasing multi-language. So it's kind of on an as-need, basis. And then you have things like GDPR, et cetera, that are addressed in our obviously user agreements and contracts where we use legal help. And then the last thing, and probably the most important thing, is that we as KODE Labs collect very little personal data. Meaning outside of name, email, obviously addresses of buildings, we're not collecting anything beyond that. So it makes it a bit easier to move in the different countries and regulations, and be able to comply with whatever rules and things they have. And then again, architecturally, it's built where you can anonymize things and so on. And we also don't resell any of the data. We collect billions of data points every month, but we don't resell any of it. 100% of the data that we collect from you is yours and yours forever. The only use of the data that we have is in making the product better to help you and everybody else that uses it. So that's kind of how we've tried to because you're right. I mean, you get into personal data stuff and it turns into a whole other world.
Faleminderit, Edi një gjys që dora shoki. Faleminderit shumë.
Faleminderit Eva.
Faleminderit krejtve. Po e përmbyllim këtë diskutim edhe po vazhdojmë me pjesën e networking edhe të picave në katë parë edhe këtu. Faleminderit edhe një herë.
Dhe për juve.
Hey,